What's up, YouTube nerds?
Hello.
It's us again.
Yeah.
It's another day. And we were going to do a lot of videos, but Kiana is, she's a musician, so she can't be trusted with being on time.
It wasn't my fault this time, but...
She's taking driving lessons, and the other girl apparently was very, very slow.
And I was very scared for my life. Anyway.
Give her props for the t-shirt. Come on. Come on.
Nice, right?
You know, some of the younger people nowadays know.
Good music.
Yeah. So, we're going to look at the most simple thing on the ES-8, which is simply programming which pedals you want active. Programming loops. So, I built this board without Kiana because she was not here.
I'm going to be hearing about this the whole time now, right?
A lot. Mm-hmm. By the way, behind her, move your head.
What?
Move your head. Are boxes. Those are Ibanez guitars that we're going to unbox with a Metal Peter later, and he's going to check out some Ibanez. So here we have a board. I wired it the following way, which also we can talk about pedal order, which this isn't technically about this series, but while we're at it, let's educate. In loop number one, so the guitar is going into input 1. Okay, we're going to keep it very simple. In the first loop, we have a compressor. And personally, I like the compressor to go before everything else. There is something to be said to have the compressor behind drives. Then again, you can do that, right? Mm-hmm. Because you can move the pedal order around. We get to that later. Then in the second loop, try to remember that. Bruno, could you maybe stop with the running?
Should I open the door?
Do open the door, let him out, so he's not bothering us.
Oh.
Awesome. Okay, so first loop, compressor. Second loop, the Archer by Rocket. In the third loop, the Archer. Mm-hmm. See, you're learning.
Yeah.
The Golden Brownie, which is a kind of modded plexi kind of high gain thing. In the fourth loop, we have the spit.
Yeah.
We have the Jupiter by Walrus Audio. It's a really cool fuzz. In the fifth loop, as you can see here, nothing. Loop number 6 is the DD7 by Boss. Loop number 7 is the Space Warp by Joyo, right there, which I picked because it doesn't use up a lot of space. Space Warp, get it? And then loop number 8, I have the Ditto. Because I was getting, where do I put my looper? Personally, I would put the looper behind everything, because when you're recording a loop, that way it is recording your delay sound, your reverb sound. It's recording the sound you're making. So if I go to loop number 8, right now it's just on. It's just playing. So you hear that the delay has been recorded. If you put your looper before you delay in your reverb, means when the loop is playing, it is going to go through those pedals and be affected by them just like your guitar would. So for me, as a recording device, I would put it at the very end of the chain, but that of course highly depends on what you want to do. But it would make sense, right?
Yeah.
That you record whatever you're playing into it. So that's in loop number 8. And that's something to pay attention to. It is on the very right and not over here. But that doesn't mean that it is in loop number 1. It's all dependent on how you wire it, of course. I mean, it's something that in your mind it would say, well, pedal number 1, 2, 3, so loop number 1, 2, 3. Well, obviously, if I have long enough cables, I can just wire it in any way. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, and the tuner is where?
9.
No.
Oh, in the tuner. In the
in the tuner out.
Yes, but I can count. You know I can count now.
Yes. Okay. So and if you see this, the tuner is getting my signal. I can tune it at any point in time. If I hit mute, it's still going to the tuner, and I can tune silently. So I want you to give me a combination of pedals now. And we're going to do it first the complicated way and then the easy way. Generally on the ES-8, there is an issue of how do I see which loops are on?
Yeah.
I want a feedback over this. One way to do it is go into manual mode and then you see red lights. The other way is hit display. There's display exit. And just hit display once. And now you see the loops. And that scrolls through a couple of, this is the loops that are on. This is the loop order, which sadly doesn't get shown on the which loops are on page. It would be nice. That's the loop order. This shows you which switches are on. This shows you what the expression pedals are doing and where they're going. So expression pedal 1 would be going to expression out 1, but of course you can change that. And that's, we can give every patch a name and a predetermined tap speed so that your delays would change the speed depending on your preset. But what we're doing is, right now we want to program those loops. So one way to do this, there's actually probably 3 ways to do this. Let's start with this. So we're on this page here, right? So take the arrow keys.
Over there.
Yep.
Okay.
Navigate to number 2. We want the archer. And let's see if with a plus minus you can turn it on and off. Okay, so I've got the archer. And I want the DD7, which is in loop number 6. So you turn loop number 6 on.
Okay.
Good. Now we have to save it.
On right?
Yep. And again.
Okay.
And now you could change the name, but we don't do that. Okay, and again.
Again, right.
So now go to preset number 2. No, preset number 2.
Oh, yeah.
Clean. And number 1. So now instead of turning 2 pedals off, you have 1 click. That was easy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. My screen turned off. Hey. I'm gonna have to turn that back on, just to know that I'm actually recording what I'm saying. So you could do this right here on this screen by going from the main screen to the loop on-off screen, and you can see what's going on. Okay. Another way to do it is to hit edit.
All right.
And it will show patch. You know, these are, you can get lost in menus on this. So this is what technically what you hit edit and then you see patch. So hit enter. Patch means your preset.
Okay.
Yeah. And now within that preset, you can program certain things like the loops that are on and off, like the loop structure, which means the order, these switches, the expression pedals, which input you're using, whether the input is buffered or not.
Okay.
Buffered means it's doing something to the impedance, as if I know what that means,
Yeah.
which means you can have longer cable runs.
Okay.
So if your signal is buffered, you can actually buy separate buffers to put before everything. It means you can run a lot longer cables and a lot more pedals before the signal gets degraded.
Right. Makes sense.
The problem is something about impedance. I don't know, electronic-y stuff. The problem with the buffer is some pedals don't like them. Certain wahs don't like them, older fuzzers don't like them, and they just don't work well with the buffered signal. So that for that reason, you can turn it off per preset, which is cool.
Okay.
And then which output you're using, the speed, and then you can do MIDI signals. All this for each preset, but what we're interested in is loop on-off, so hit enter. And there you see which ones are on and off. And now you will program it just like you did before.
With
Yep.
this. Okay.
And turn it off again.
Oh.
We have no delay. Right.
Okay.
Write it.
Oh.
And again. And again. So, obviously, that's kind of a way too complicated way to do it.
Takes kind of long.
This is the way you go if you want to do more with a patch. If you just want to do loop order or loops on and off, all you do is go to display
Yeah.
and then do it right there. It's pretty much exactly the same way as hitting edit, patch, enter, loop on off, enter, and doing it here.
Okay. Uh-huh.
It's just a quicker way. With the display switch, you can pretty much go straight into that menu. The other thing is you can go straight into the menu and have it sitting here. And so while you're playing on stage, you have feedback, even though it's small and it, on the floor, you have feedback over which loops are on and off. There's another way to do it, which is cool because you don't have to bend down.
Mm-hmm.
Hold memory. Wait, why is this red now? Because I'm in the edit mode. That's another way to do it. In the edit mode, let me show you. Edit, enter, and blah blah. You can do this. Instead of navigating to the numbers, you can just actually hit the loops on and off that you want.
Okay.
Which, if you're not in edit mode and you're just in the display mode, you can't do. Because here, by hitting one of these, you're actually changing the preset.
Yeah.
So if you want to do it just on the front panel, in the display mode, you have to use these knobs. If you're in edit mode on the same screen, you can use the foot switches. But really, for that operation, there's the super easiest way to do it. Hold memory manual, which you can, of course, do with your foot. And now you see it changed red.
Yeah.
Now just give me the reverb and the delay, which is 6 and 7.
So can I just press that there?
Yeah. So I've got turn on 8, and since it's playing, we should have the looper playing. Yeah, let's not have that. So how do you save it now? You could, of course, hit right, but hit memory manual once again.
Just once.
Yep. And again. Done.
Okay.
So obviously, if you're in a rehearsal, you're like, hey, I want this combination. All you do is hold this. I want the reverb off. Done.
Okay.
Which clearly is the easiest way to program this state of your pedals. And that's it. That's all we are showing in this video, how to set your pedals. So again, you can do it through the display, but then you have to use those buttons. You can do it in memory manual by holding this down and then just using the switch. Now we did this, okay. And you can go into the edit, patch, enter, loop on, off, enter, and then you can do it here the same way. Right. Done. Fairly simple.
Yes.
Okay. Bye-bye.